Good morning, everyone. It's Rachelle. Happy Friday. Today is February 1st, and I'm going to talk a little off topic today. I know I normally talk about the body ecology diet and my battle with candida overgrowth, but today I want to talk about another important subject. Today is wear red for women's heart health, and it's a very, very important topic to discuss, and it's become a very important one for me. Almost 7 years ago, at the age of 42, I did have a heart attack, and I did not know what the symptoms were. I was always under the impression that all heart attack symptoms were the same for men and women. And what do we see on TV? We see a man, clutching his chest and falling to the ground, or everybody talks about pain in the left arm radiating down. None of that happened. And it seems that symptoms for women can be much, much different than symptoms for men. And I wanted to tell you a little bit about that today. It seems that in women can get symptoms like lightheadedness, dizziness, a feeling of being winded, tired, maybe some heartburn or indigestion, pain in the jaw, pain between the shoulder blades in the back, and I had a lot of those symptoms, and I was not aware. I had been experiencing some shortness of breath when I was walking or doing any type of activity, and I just chalked it up to being, morbidly obese. That's what happens. You get out of breath. You're carrying 250 some odd pounds around, you're going to be tired. So I didn't think anything of it. And I had actually gone to the doctor just that Friday, Thursday or Friday, and I said, I'm having a lot of indigestion lately, and I just don't feel right. And she told me I had acid reflux and gave me a prescription for Acidifex, something like that. But it was a prescription for acid reflux. Well, it really wasn't working, so I just figured I must really have a bad case of acid reflux. So I also told her that I had some pain and pressure between my shoulder blades. She told me that I had a virus, I had a bug, and to just get plenty of rest and drink lots of fluids. There's really nothing I could do. I said, okay. Well, at the same time, I was seeing a podiatrist because I was having some ankle and foot pain. And when we were talking about what shoes to get to fit my orthotics, he told me to go and try on shoes in the middle of the afternoon because that's when our feet are swollen. And I said, oh, that's odd because mine are swollen when I wake up in the morning. And he brushed off what I said and told me pretty much that I was wrong, that if I did have that, it would be indicative of heart disease. So I was clearly mistaken. And, I guess I was in denial. I didn't want to believe anything was wrong, so I took what he said at face value and figured out I must be wrong. Maybe it's just, that's when I'm paying attention to it. My feet are probably always swollen. So needless to say, that all happened between a Wednesday and a Friday, and that Saturday evening, I woke up from a deep sleep with severe stomach pain, and I was sweating profusely. It was terrible. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, this acid reflux is really, really bad. It's worse than I thought. And a lot of things went through my head. I probably have an ulcer on top of it. I know I had suffered from gastritis years before that. It was probably that as well. And Chris had even mentioned to me earlier in the day, she said, anything that you eat is bringing on this acid reflux. You better call the doctor back on Monday and tell her this medication is not working. And that was what I planned to do. But Saturday night was a totally different story. Like I said, I still thought it was the acid reflux. So my bedroom's upstairs, so I had come down to the living room. I stripped myself of my pajamas because I was sweating so badly, and I started vomiting, and I knew something was wrong. And still thinking it was the acid reflux, I called 911, and because I said, I'm not going to get a doctor at this hour. It's the middle of the night, and I need some relief. I need somebody to help me, and that was my thought. So I went back upstairs, and I put on some sweatpants and a sweatshirt, and I answered the door. There was actually, the funny thing is, there's a police officer that lives down the block. And when he heard the call come in, he happened to have stopped home for a bathroom break, and he came to my house. So within 2 minutes of calling 911, I had a police officer at my house, and he made me sit down on the stoop in front of the house. He gave me oxygen, and we talked about what hospital I wanted to go to, and we decided that. The paramedics also came, but I didn't think that I needed them because I didn't think it was my heart at that time. Silly me, I should have just let them do what they needed to do. When we finally got to the hospital, they did a few tests, and I was absolutely shocked when the doctor came in and told me that I was having a heart attack. And it blew my mind. I didn't think at my age, or with the symptoms that I was having, that it was my heart. I guess in the back of my head I did have a suspicion, but there was no way at all. And that's my point of talking to you today. No matter what the doctors say, I had seen a couple of different doctors just days before my heart attack, and nobody put two and two together for me. And that could have been really dire. That could have been a really bad circumstance. If I did not go to the hospital that Saturday evening, I don't know if I would be here today talking to you. I had a 100% blockage in my left anterior descending artery, and they call that the widowmaker. And if you've heard recent reports of Rosie O'Donnell, that's the same artery that she had her blockage in. So obviously, if they call it the widowmaker, it's not a good thing. So I was lucky enough that I had gotten to the hospital. They diagnosed me rather quickly, and they did catheterization right then and there. I went to the cath lab. They went in through my groin, went into my heart. They opened up that artery, and I now have a stent there. And I have to say, it was scary, but it brought to light a lot of things that we didn't know. I had no pain in my left arm. I had no crushing chest pain. I had feelings of just being ill, and luckily I did go to the hospital. So my point here is that if you think something's wrong, if you have these symptoms and you just don't feel right, don't stop. You need to be your own self-advocate. This is your health. This is your life. Your doctor gets paid to do a job. So when you go and you think something's not right, you demand that they test you for what you think is wrong. Or, you know what, just mention to them, you know what, I think this may be my heart. I want you to test me for this. I want you to do an EKG. I want you to do a stress test. Your life depends on it. So if you do have these symptoms, please do yourself a favor. Have yourself get checked out. And if one doctor dismisses you, go to another. Well, here's to your health. Have a wonderful day and have a great weekend. Bye now.